for joining us on the Oyewumi Ayenigbara. Ondo State's Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa and top leaders of the All Progressives Congress APC in the state has dismissed claims of crisis within the party, insisting that the state chapter is not at war as it prepares for its state congress today. Addressing stakeholders and party members at a meeting ahead of the exercise at the APC State Secretariat in Akure, the governor said the impression of tension within the party was largely fueled by social media narratives, stressing that the reality on ground shows a peaceful and united chapter. Governor Aiyedatiwa, who commended members of the APC State Congress Committee for conducting the ward and local government congress earlier, reaffirmed the party's long-standing culture of consensus in electing its executives since 2014, aligning the state chapter's approach with the leadership philosophy of President Bola Tinubu, whom he described as a strong believer in orderliness, ranking, and party leadership. Also addressing stakeholders, the Southwest National Vice Chairman of the APC, Dr. Isaac Kekemeke, said the gathering reflected fair representation of the party's leadership across the 18 local government areas, including those and outside government. Kekemeke, speaking on the fallout of a court order to stop the state congress, he said the party was not relying on any social media court order, noting that the national secretariat had yet to give any directive regarding the alleged order. Earlier, chairman of the APC State Congress Committee, Comrade Ogona Obrekwe, said the committee was in the state to conduct the congress that would produce 36 working committee members to pilot the affairs of the party for the next 4 years. He noted that the Congress will be conducted through a voice vote under a consensus arrangement and assured all the committee's impartiality and strict adherence to the party constitution and the electoral act. The National Agency for the Control of AIDS has announced that Nigeria will take delivery of lenacapavir, a breakthrough HIV prevention drug that demonstrated 100% effectiveness in preventing HIV infection during clinical trials. In a brief statement, the head of public relations at NACA, Toya Deribigbe, said the agency had secured regulatory approval from the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control. Lenacapavir is an injectable treatment administered twice yearly, offering a more convenient alternative to daily oral preventive medications. The drug is expected to be available in Nigeria and 119 other low and middle income countries at an affordable cost of 40% per person annually, following voluntary licensing agreement with generic manufacturers. The House of Representatives has commenced consideration of a bill to establish a Nigerian FinTech Regulatory Commission aimed at streamlining oversight in the fast-growing digital finance sector. At a public hearing held at the National Assembly in Abuja, the Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, said that the bill seeks to address regulatory fragmentation and compliance uncertainties, noting that the FinTech innovation was outpaced existing regulatory structures. The Speaker explained that the proposed commission will serve as a coordinating statutory body expected to streamline licensing and eliminate duplication. In his remarks, the chairman of the House Committee on Digital and Electronic Banking, Emmanuel Bamudo, said the bill must be harmonized with existing laws to avoid jurisdictional conflict, calling for proportionate compliance frameworks, especially for startups. Both lawmakers urged stakeholders to submit memoranda and technical proposals, saying the final legislation must be implementable, balanced, and globally competitive. National Police Council has unanimously endorsed Olatunji Diso as the substantive Inspector General of Police, paving the way for his formal confirmation. The decision was taken during a meeting chaired by President Bola Tinubu at the State House in Abuja. The session, which lasted less than an hour, fulfilled statutory requirement under the Police Act 2020 mandating council review of any appointment to the nation's top police office. Confirmation of the endorsement was provided by Presidential Spokesman Bayo Nanuga, who stated that the council's resolution was unanimous. He said the outcome clears the administrative hurdle before the president transmits the nomination to the Senate for legislative confirmation. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu will tomorrow swear in the new Inspector General of Police, IGP Tunji Disu, during the Federal Executive Council FEC meeting at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Dangote Petroleum Refinery has increased its premium motor spirit PMS gantry price by 100 naira, bringing the export rate to 874 naira per litre from the previous 774 naira, raising fresh concerns over fuel price hikes nationwide. A senior refinery official confirmed the adjustment, explaining that the move was necessary due to the recent volatility in global crude oil market. The price hike followed the refinery's suspension of petrol loading operations after international crude oil prices surged past 80 per barrel overnight. The refinery's move triggered a ripple effect across Nigeria's downstream sector, with several private depot owners halting petrol sales during the trading day. The federal government has advised Nigerian nationals residing in Kuwait and Bahrain to remain vigilant and adhere strictly to safety guidelines issued by host authorities. In a circular, the Embassy of Nigeria in Kuwait, which has concurrent accreditation to Bahrain, urged Nigerians in both countries to stay calm, monitor local news, and follow official government advisories in light of prevailing regional circumstances. The embassy stated that it is closely monitoring development and maintaining contact with leaders of Nigerian communities in the two countries to ensure timely update and support. It also announced the creation of a dedicated mobile and WhatsApp line to facilitate active communication with citizens. The advisory comes amid heightened tensions in parts of the Middle East, with Nigerian authorities emphasizing precaution and calm among citizens abroad. And the United States government has released a global security alert for its citizens in Nigeria and across the world following rising tensions between Washington and Tehran. The advisory issued by the State Department called on Americans to remain vigilant in the wake of recent U.S. military operations targeting Iran. According to the notice, shifting security development could disrupt travel plans and pose safety concerns, including possible interruptions to air travel. The alert further advised U.S. nationals to sign up for the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program STEP to receive up-to-date security information. The warning follows coordinated strikes carried out by U.S. and Israeli forces on Iranian targets. The attacks reportedly resulted in the death of Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces Abdurrahim Mousavi. And that's developing stories to join us at noon for World News. Good morning.